I'm excited to see you in action.
Oh, honey.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the virtual college exploration for all high school students. Just so that you know, your camera and your microphones are turned off today, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. However, you're still able to ask any questions that you may have through that Q&A button, and we strongly encourage you to do so. After today's presentation, please make sure that you visit oacac.org and sign up for more sessions. We have a ton of different options for you, from different panels to specific institutions that are sharing more about their college or university. So make sure that you're taking complete advantage of that. Today's session is going to be recorded, and it will also be posted on the website for you to take a look at later on. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn our presentation over to Lauren and Carmen. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I hope all is well, and that Carmen and I are finding you and your families safe, happy, and healthy. We, of course, are representing the University of Mississippi, affectionately and lovingly known as Ole Miss. I'm going to share my screen at this particular point, and hopefully the correct presentation will come up so that, let me see, where is it? So that we can get started in just kind of sharing a general overview about who we are in terms of what we do in, educating our students both in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom, and really trying to allow them to have this opportunity where they can build their legacy here at the University of Mississippi. I, of course, would love to know, and Carmen would as well, because she's going to be working with you more closely than I am. So if you have an opportunity to just in the chat box area in the Q&A section, share who you are. If there are any questions that you may have throughout this presentation, please feel free to ask them, and we'll be sure to respond to you. So the University of Mississippi. And one of the wonderful phrases that we always use, and kind of a tradition with us, is the question, are you ready? It really gets us fired up, certainly during more so athletic events, but it also stretches way beyond that. And that's our question to you. And so I'm gonna just get this going again, as I thought that it already was. So here we go with some quick facts about the University of Mississippi. We were founded in 1848. We are the flagship university for the state of Mississippi. And so you will often hear a number of individuals, constituents that are associated with Ole Miss refer to it as the flagship. And we have so much fun on social media, especially on Fridays, where all of our hashtags normally lead with hashtag Flagship Friday, because we want people to know that the university was founded back in 1848 with a very small cohort of students, and how it has grown, over the years. Our enrollment total, including, say, students from our medical school, which is located in Jackson, our medical school students, our graduate school students, it's around 23,000 students. But on our main campus in Oxford of undergraduate students, it's around 17,000. And I love this, and I think that a lot of our prospective students and families are drawn to us really for our size. I mean, for a number of reasons, but our size really speaks volumes to a lot of individuals, because when we need to be big, feel big, and being a part of the SEC, we are definitely that. But at the same time, when we need to be small, when we need to be more intimate, when we need to be more close-knit, touchable, available, we are that as well. I mentioned that we're part of the Southeastern Conference. I say that we are probably the best conference in the country. I know I'll probably catch a lot of slack for that, but I do believe it. And we're like the third smallest or so, within the SEC. But again, That says a lot about us and who we are. And a lot of students and families are drawn to us because of our size. With regards to like you beginning and building your legacy with us. Certainly students come to the University of Mississippi for a variety of reasons. Of course, first and foremost, it's about your academics. That's gonna be your prime focus when you're on our campus. You're gonna be challenged in our classrooms, but at the same time, you're gonna be challenged outside of our classrooms. But first and foremost, we're gonna talk about the academic offerings, because when we were founded in 1848, it really looked more so like a liberal arts type of school because we were able to offer a variety of programs. And then just over the years, being able to expand and build upon various resources within the state, attracting a lot of top-notch faculty who are the leaders in their particular fields. It also attracted a lot of students who wanted to be in those classrooms that were being taught by those top-notch professors. And so you'll see here on this particular slide, and I'm going to show you several because we have a number of schools and a college. And this like College of Liberal Arts is actually our largest academic division on our campus. And when you look at the slide, you're going to see so much diversity within it, from African-American studies to different concentrations within the arts. Then you have the sciences nestled in there. Our health professions are nestled in there, and then theater. So it goes really from kind of one end of the spectrum to the other. But we see that as a benefit because it's going to allow students who come thinking they want to concentrate in this particular area. Okay, that's great, you will be. But at the same time, we want you to broaden your scope. We want you to go deeper and have this greater knowledge, and where science may be kind of where your focus is. At the same time, we want you to know who Shakespeare is, and maybe even develop this love, for literature or for theater or in a particular language, and vice versa. And that's one of the benefits of considering a place like us, and certainly considering a major within our College of Liberal Arts. You'll see up here our School of Pharmacy. We, every year, it's ranked like one of the top 25 pharmacy schools in the country. And some of you out there may be interested in pursuing pharmacy as a major and certainly as a profession. If that is the case, I implore you to put us on your list. So that you can learn more about the early entry opportunities, or once you get to campus, you take a couple of classes and you find that your passion still lies there, then guess what? There will be some opportunities of which you can become a part of that particular major. Also, you'll see here general studies, and this is just what it sounds like, general. We have a number of students who come to us every year. They have no idea what they want to major in, and that's okay. I have conversations with prospective students all the time about, I'm interested in this, but I'm also interested in this and this. I'm like, that's totally fine. Now, I know your parents may think otherwise, because sometimes parents, and I am one, trust me, I know that sometimes they may want you to have it all kind of figured out in terms of a major, because they're already projecting the investment of this education and where it's going to lead you. But let me reassure you, Carmen and I will be happy to talk with them about reassuring them that it is okay not to know at first. And believe it or not, it's a large percentage of students all across the country who change their majors, and it's okay. And even at Ole Miss, it's okay to do that. Typically, students will need to have their major declared, usually around that first semester or second semester of their sophomore year, because it's really when you get into that junior year, and definitely by your senior year, you're like all the way in, in a particular area of study. Of course, next you'll see here, and as I just fiddled with our slide, and I took it away from where I had it, I'm just going to go back real quickly and tell you about our School of Journalism and New Media. Wonderful program on our campus. Some of you, if you're interested in journalism, either in print, either in broadcast. This is a place that you definitely want to also think about us in. We have a student-run journalism, pretty much department of outreach. So Rebel Radio, all student-run DJs. Our News Watch station, all student-run in the evening. The Daily Mississippian is our student newspaper that's also a student-led. So our students are getting hands-on experience through this particular major and through the opportunities that we present for them. And then there are a number of cities that are closely located in proximity to our campus that offer larger news media outlets. So they come and seek out, Ole Miss students. So it's not uncommon to see in Memphis, Tennessee, some Ole Miss, alums that are on the news stations and or in our city of Jackson as well. You'll also see underneath the School of Journalism and New Media, Integrated Marketing and Communications. This is probably one of our fastest growing majors on our campus. And it's an integrated marketing and communications. And I love it because it really showcases opportunities for the social media platforms. And this is what all of you all, and you all as in younger than me, are connecting with individuals with. That's how you're getting your information. That's how you're sharing your information. And so here we are having faculty members, having opportunities there on our campus to help best equip you to lead in a career that's geared towards that. And I mean, we have Ole Miss alum that's with TikTok. Ole Miss alum that's like the social media director for an NFL team, and the list goes on and on. So when you're thinking about, ooh, I would like to do this, and your parents are probably looking at you thinking, wait, what? That can be a job? Well, guess what? Tell them absolutely, and you need to come to Ole Miss and to learn more about that particular major. As I move forward, I'm going to share a few of our other majors with you. You'll see our School of Business Administration, and this particular major or school, I should say, is very popular on our campus. Oftentimes when I'm having conversations with students, I ask, what are you interested in? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say business. And I'm like, okay, great. And is there a particular area of business? Like, what do you see yourself doing? And the good thing is you're going to see here a listing of all of our concentrations, that we offer. So from banking and finance, from econ, entrepreneurship, finance, real estate, also marketing and communication strategy. The list goes on and on. Our business program really works very closely with the students in preparing them for success. And there are opportunities certainly, and when you come into Ole Miss, you're going to be a general kind of business major. You keep up a certain GPA, then say in your sophomore year, you're going to be able to delve more deeply into a specific concentration. So in one of these particular areas. So unlike other places where you sometimes have to apply for general admission, and then on top of that, you have to apply to get into the School of Business, or for example, the School of Engineering, here at Ole Miss, you don't have to do that. And I think that just relieves so much stress, for a lot of our students. You may be looking for accounting on this. Well, guess what? Accounting sits on its kind of own bottom. It's within its own school. And I'm just realizing that I skipped over that in the previous slide, but that's okay. Because our accounting program ranks as one of like the top 10 programs in the country, and students have an opportunity to pursue it. Absolutely through your undergraduate, receiving your bachelor's degree, but there are opportunities where you can continue on this trend in a master's program and or a PhD. We are connected with a number of top accounting firms. One in particular is KPMG. We have an agreement with them. A number of our students intern with them. And usually by the time that they graduate, they already have job offers. And that's similar to our students within our School of Business. Many are so savvy. And I use an example oftentimes if they have an opportunity to maybe go study abroad, and that may be something that some of you are interested in, and which we highly encourage and want students to do. There have been times that students who have been abroad and say they've gone to London, they've studied at the London School of Econ. The savviest of them have had opportunities to also intern at Goldman Sachs, at Lehman Brothers. So there are places and spaces, networking opportunities within that undergraduate experience outside of Ole Miss, outside of the state of Mississippi, outside of the United States, where Ole Miss's influence and presence is known, and it really does benefit our students. Also, in one of our other schools, you'll see here is our School of Applied Sciences. And here we like to say this is where science and service intersect. And the reason I say that is as you look at these majors, it kind of makes sense, right? You see exercise science listed here, our communication sciences and disorders. So if you're interested, in speech pathology and working with individuals in that capacity, and or criminal justice, dietetics and nutrition, and hospitality management. I'm going to be honest, when I was at Ole Miss, had they had hospitality management, I more than likely would have majored in that, because I just get a huge kick and this satisfaction and fulfillment of individuals who major in this and then who eventually make that their profession. And we have some wonderful opportunities right on our campus specifically for these students. So we have a hotel on our campus. It's called the Inn at Ole Miss. It's gotten the resort style rating, and we have a lovely restaurant that's recently been remodeled that will be opening soon. But a number of our Ole Miss students work there. So they're getting hands-on experience in their undergraduate years. We also have this wonderful space and place called Lenore Dining, which is a wonderful opportunity where staff members like myself and or faculty members will go make reservations for lunch. And it's like you're having this 5-star dining experience on campus. And it gives students an opportunity, one, again, to get that experience of working within that hospitality management realm, but it also gives those of us an opportunity to feel as if though we're eating at, say, a Highlands Bar and Grill in Birmingham, which if you've not been there, let me tell you, yummy. But I'll name some places though in Oxford too that are equally as good. Then you'll see here our pre-professional areas. And so we listed these because they are available to you as students, not necessarily for you to major in, but more of you being able to tell us if you'd like to be on one of these tracks. So if you're interested in med school, if you're interested in law school, if you're interested, even though we have a pharmacy school, there's still an opportunity to get on that pre-pharmacy track or physical therapy track. And we will have individuals that are going to work with you in addition to your academic advisor. So it's you're going to have 2 advisors, 2 individuals that are going to be working very closely with you to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to be successful. I usually have students that will ask me, well, if I'm interested in going to law school, should I major in pre-law? And I say, absolutely not, because you can't here, even though it's there, it's a track. Rather, I advise them on considering a major in English or considering a major in history or a major in political science, because those majors are going to give students an opportunity to really hone in to their critical thinking skills, to their writing skills, and don't even get me started on how much reading you're going to do. But guess what? If you want to go to law school, I think you already know that's going to be a huge part of what that experience is going to be for you in terms of reading and writing and comprehending, and then, regurgitating that information in your papers and verbally, in class with your professors. Also, here at the top, you're going to see a listing for our School of Education. And at the University of Mississippi, I think we do a number of things well. And our School of Education, I would put it at the top of one of those programs where we do. You'll see where majors range from early childhood to secondary, to more specifics in terms of special ed and or science education, health, and a physical education. So there are a lot of opportunities that are available to students who know that they want to teach or want to be a part of that educational program. They certainly should give us a look. Our professors work very closely with our students. There are some various opportunities for students who are in these kind of virtual simulations. So similar to what I'm doing right now, because you're there and I can't see you, but it's like I am. And then they have professors that are looking on as they're teaching specific lesson plans. And then they come together afterwards to sit and talk and just to have a discussion about what worked, possibly what didn't, but it's an opportunity where the student is able to grow. The student is able to receive not so much criticism, but receive good feedback, like good information that's going to allow them to strengthen who they are and strengthen their confidence and strengthen their ability within that particular major. So definitely just be mindful, of that. If that's something that you are interested in pursuing, you definitely want to put us on your list and keep us there. And then our School of Engineering. At the University of Mississippi, we were actually the first school within the state of Mississippi to create and found, an engineering program. And you'll see the listing of concentrations that we have, from biomedical to chemical to electrical, geological, geology, mechanical, computer science. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Electrical engineering, of those concentrations, electrical ranks up there, at the very top. And I think one of the benefits of considering a School of Engineering at Ole Miss is the fact that our faculty to student ratio, I think it's like 13-1. So imagine being in a class where you and just a few other students are being engaged with one another. Again, it goes back to you knowing who your professor are. And I don't know who your professor is, excuse me. And I'm not sure if I stated earlier in the presentation that our faculty staff ratio is like 17-1. So when you're considering colleges and universities of places like to attend, to be a part and immersed in this academic setting, you absolutely want to consider, a place like Ole Miss, because everything that our professors have and what they're receiving in terms of their research, it's going to be poured directly into you. And when it's time for you perhaps to apply to graduate schools, medical schools, law schools, letters of recommendation are going to be very important. And we're the type of place where you're going to know who to ask to write a letter on your behalf. And the good thing is that person is going to know you so incredibly well that they're going to really be able to advocate on your behalf in that way. And some even go beyond the letter of recommendation. Some go to, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to make a phone call to a personal friend and put a plug in for you. I know at this time I've probably shared a lot of information about our kind of quick facts in terms of who we are, sharing information with regards to our academic programs. Not sure if you have any questions or concerns. If so, please feel free to ask those in the Q&A function and in the chat, and we'll be sure to respond. But I'm just going to continue here to tell you a little bit more about some additional programs, what we call special programs. And to me, this is like an added layer to your academic experience. And so you're thinking about what it is that you want to major in, that's great. But then there are opportunities that you can be a part of an honors college, which is, we have one of the finest honors colleges in the country. And I usually describe this opportunity for students who just have this deep curiosity. They want to know more. They question a lot. In their high school experience, secondary, educational experience, they have usually exhausted their academic opportunities because they thrive for more, wanting more, and to go deep. And usually that's what we find in our applicants within our honors college. A profile would probably be about a 28 on the ACT, a 3.5, 3.6, GPA. But again, it's someone who has taken full advantage of their academic offerings, and they want to be challenged in a more specific way, at the University of Mississippi. Also, we have Croft Institute for International Studies. Some of you have probably traveled abroad, with your family, and or have that desire to do so one day, or you've fallen in love with a particular language and or culture, and you want to know more. Our International Studies program through the Croft Institute is a wonderful opportunity for you to be able to do that. And studying abroad is like mandatory. Like, you're going to have to go, abroad for a year, because it's going to allow you to immerse yourself within that culture, immerse yourself within that language, immerse yourself within that international community, and really get a better feel and understanding of who it is that you're studying, and more so, I think, of yourself and why you're studying it and how you play a role within that, particular area. Our Center for Manufacturing Excellence. It's a wonderful opportunity for students who are interested, typically what we see, students who are interested in engineering, students who are interested in business, and students who are interested in accounting. And the reason I say those three, because those are like what we have seen, that are those students that are a part of our Center for Manufacturing Excellence, they tend to come from those particular academic disciplines. So you have those engineering students there designing various things with our 3D laser cutter printer thing. And they have so many fancy mechanisms in that particular space that I don't even know. But then you have the business students that are there writing these business plans, getting an understanding of what it means, to manage all of these things. And of course, with any business or product, you need to know how to balance the budget. And that's when those accounting, students come into play. So if they're at a particular firm and they're recommending and or representing, various individuals and or companies, they know how to speak the language. They know how to relate. And so students are getting the hands-on experience in that particular area. Our Lott Leadership Institute is actually, it bears the name of a former Ole Miss alum and actually former Senator Trent Lott. We at Ole Miss, I think one of the common things you may find are students who are actively engaged in the life of the campus. And so we have a very active associate student body. We have over 300 clubs and organizations, probably 400 now. And I'll get to more of that. But I say all of that to say leadership is huge on our campus. And this Lott Leadership is a more directed way where students will be able to more readily and easily connect with leaders in our local level, leaders at our state level, and leaders at our national level. And oftentimes a part of this Lott Leadership Institute, it provides students an opportunity to travel to DC and just to see our government in action, firsthand. I also like to say that we boast 2 language flagship programs in Chinese and Arabic. And there are a number of students out there who are passionate about either of those areas, or they have some interest in it. They just don't know yet because maybe they've never had an opportunity to really pursue those classes in their high school program. We're here at Ole Miss, you'll be able to do that. And there's a lot of opportunities for students to be able to take part in that flagship program to really delve more deeply in those particular areas. Our Center for Intelligence and Security Studies is just that. It's an opportunity for those students who have a desire to work for some of those national agencies like FBI, CIA, NSA. That's a particular program that you definitely want to put on your list. And I had already mentioned earlier about our Mississippi, well, at least our School of Education. And part of that is a special program with our Mississippi Excellence in Teaching. And this works more like an opportunity where students are funded to be accepted, because you do have to apply. And I'm going to pause here because I don't think I've said this yet, but with these particular special programs, it is a separate application that you will need to complete. So when you apply to Ole Miss for general admission, yay, that's wonderful. And you're going to get your admissions decision. And I'm confident it's going to be good news. And when it is, you're going to also then have certain credentials that you will use to access the special programs and scholarship application. So all of these special programs that I've shared with you so far are going to be on that particular application. And so talking about the Mississippi Excellence in Teaching, wonderful program for students who are passionate about teaching. But there is this agreement. So if you are accepted and you receive that particular financial support through that program, then it's an understanding that you're going to spend 5 years teaching at a school in Mississippi. And it's just, you know, it's like to whom much is given, much is required. And so there you have it. And I think those who are educators, they know that, they live that, because it's special people who are teachers. And I guess my mama was one, so that's why I say that. Our health and physical ed is part of that. And so there'll be more information listed with regards to it. And of course, School of Pharmacy, which I had mentioned earlier. Top 25 program in the country. There are opportunities certainly for you to be able to apply for early entry. And we'll share more information about those specifics. As we continue on, here we go. You've heard so much about our academic programs. You've heard about our special programs and even the quick facts in the beginning, like Ole Miss may feel like the right fit for you. And now you're just dying to apply. Yay, we want you to. You can go online to olemiss.edu/apply. We offer 2 ways in which you can submit your application to us. Of course, you can apply using our institutional app. It opened on July 1st, and we're also on the Common app, and that opened on August 1st. So either way, either application, do what works for you. I usually say the biggest difference is that our Ole Miss application, because we've streamlined it so much, it'll probably take you about 15 minutes or so, whereas the Common App will take a little longer. But the thing about the Common App is, though, you can get really the bang for your buck. If you're applying to a lot of different schools, you can fill that out, click that submit button, and off it goes to everyone. You'll just simply need, you know, to have an official transcript sent to us. And with regards to test scores, so let me tell you, at this time, you can be admitted to the University of Mississippi without submitting a test score. So with a 2.0 GPA on core courses, so a 2.0 core GPA, you are admissible to the University of Mississippi without test scores. I know, right? How exciting is that? It's like we understand what you all are going through right now with COVID and how it's impacted those testing opportunities. So again, with the 2.0 core GPA, you are admissible to the University of Mississippi. But this is the thing when test scores come into play, because we still require them when it comes to, you got it, you see my slide, money matters. So scholarships. At this particular time, we are still requiring test scores for admission. So with that said, our special programs and scholarship application, it's not due until January 5th. That's like the priority deadline, January 5th. Our final deadline is February 15th. So you still have time, hopefully, to figure that out. As we get closer to that time and there's still no test date available to you, my advice to you is to let us know. So just stay in constant contact with us about that so that we can work with you. But at the University of Mississippi, we offer academic merit aid and awards, as well as competitive scholarships. Our academic merit awards are usually based on a 3.0 GPA and a specific test score. At this time, our Director of Admission and our Director of Financial Aid are still in discussions with other senior members of our leadership team and trying to figure out exactly what those categories are going to look like. So just stay tuned, because as soon as we have that information for you, we're going to share it with you. But what I love about the Academic Merit Awards is that you don't have to apply for them, because we'll have your high school transcript. You submit your test scores to us, so we'll already have that info. Then we'll be able to automatically make those awards to you. Now, in regards to our competitive scholarships, that's when that application comes into play. So you've already applied to us, right? And you've gotten your news that you've gotten in. Yay, congratulations. Then we will have shared information with you that you'll be able to access our special programs and scholarship application. And you will have an opportunity then to tell us more about who you are. We want to know, and usually what I say to students is, like, when your school day ends, like, how does the rest of your day begin? What are you up to? What do you like to do? Are you involved in a number of clubs and organizations, or are you passionate about one particular area and that's where you give all of your time? Or do you have to work, a certain number of hours a week? Or are there younger siblings, at home that require your time and attention? That particular scholarship application is going to allow you to go into more detail with us about who you are, so we really get a full picture. And again, that priority deadline is January 5th. The final deadline is February 15th. And of course, you'll see here that close to 80% of our students receive some type of financial aid. I do encourage students and families to complete the FAFSA, FAFSA, free application for federal student aid. And that way you're going to share specific information with us about you and your financial situation so that we can figure things out, hopefully, in developing this financial aid package that often includes grant aid, loan, and work study. And you'll see our cost of attendance here for our non-resident students. It's a little bit over $35,000 a year, but it's right in line with our peer institutions. And again, we have scholarships available that will help kind of chop away, at that particular cost. And of course, we like to say, at the University of Mississippi, there's something there that everybody, can pretty much take a part in. It's just a matter of you sometimes maybe stepping out of your comfort zones. It's not to say that everything is just going to be right there for you. And there may be some stretching, that you have to do, but that's okay. I mean, we have, and as I mentioned earlier, and I know it says here, like with more than 300, student organizations, I think it's more to like 400. I mentioned earlier about our active associated student body. We have an active student activities association, an active Greek life system. I'd probably say close to about 40% of our students participates in Greek life at the University of Mississippi, but that's not all that there is to do. There's so much going on in the life of our campus, a number of clubs and organizations within our academic majors, but certainly outside of that as well. So I'm quite sure you're going to find a lot of things to keep you busy. And a word of caution: don't join everything in the first semester, because you'll get yourself overwhelmed. So pace yourself. You have 4 years, to be able to do that. A huge part also of student life on our campus is living on campus, right? So at Ole Miss, that may be different than other places. We do require first year students or freshmen to live on campus with us in one of our residential halls. So we're going to guarantee housing, absolutely, for all of our first year students for the first year. You got to live with us 2 consecutive semesters. And trust me, you're going to love it. You're going to look back on that experience and be like, wow, that was so much fun. And the memories that I made and the friendships, that I developed. And we offer traditional style housing as well as contemporary style housing. When I was a student there, it all was traditional. And what traditional means, I usually describe it as this: you and a roommate in a room, have your shower shoes on, your shower caddy, because down the hall to a community bathroom and shower you go. But there are also laundry facilities, lounge spaces, and all of that within that traditional setting. But that pretty much is what kind of distinguishes a traditional, type of residential space. And believe it or not, it's still, like, to this day, one of the most popular residential living options that students choose. And of course, contemporary. And basically that means that you don't have to walk down the hall, with your shower shoes on and carrying your shower caddy. It's like you and a roommate, in a room, and your bathroom is right there. And then there are a number of other, maybe more up-to-date laundry facilities options. Some of our residential spaces, like our residential colleges and or living learning centers, will offer like community kitchens or cafeteria style eating. Many of them have grab and go. One of our facilities has like a Papa John's, right there for you and for your convenience. And so there are a lot of options that you will be able to choose from. And let me also make note that you do have to submit a housing application, and we will be in touch with you and reminding you of when to do that. You have to apply first. You have to get in second. Then third, you're going to have that opportunity to submit your housing application to us. And at any time, and even now, you can go online and visit our student housing website just to get a better idea of the offerings within the residential spaces, kind of look at the layout, of the room. But I love the way our campus is situated because everything is really kind of close-knit. It's walkable, it's bikeable, even for students who may need some other type of assistance to allow themselves to be mobile. They can. There are opportunities, and we even have a bus system, a transit system that's free to students that maneuvers them all throughout our college community. And the good thing is it's free just by showing your student ID. So on our campus, there's just so much to do. And I think oftentimes a lot of students, especially out of state, because sometimes when they hear Mississippi, their mind goes back, and it goes way, way back. And sometimes they can get stuck there. I'm just like, no, bring it forward, bring it forward. There are so many opportunities, available to students, and there's so much going on. There's always something, something happening. And even in the world that we're living in now, where much of it is how I'm communicating with you now virtually, yes, we're having to do a lot of those things, that way. But we are in the midst of game week. We play Florida on Saturday. Thus my Zoom background here of Hemingway Stadium. And I have to tell you, being a part of the SEC and in the South, we do take football very seriously. And if you're ever able to visit our campus, you're going to see this 10-acre oak field, magnolia field, place and space that's just gorgeous. And we call it the Grove. And the Grove is on bucket list for people to come and have an opportunity to tailgate in, because we do it like nobody else does it. Like gearing up to our home football games, but a number of concerts. I mean, some of my most memorable concerts took place out in the Grove. I'm also one of those on like gorgeous raining evenings. I used to love just to go walking out like in the Grove right at the evening with the rain coming down, reflecting off the light. I know it sounds weird, but yeah, I enjoyed that. But being a part of that Southeastern Conference, we are a Division I, athletic program and school. Right now, as I said, with our first football game coming up on Saturday, our cross-country team, Ole Miss Track, just had a great meet this past weekend, and we placed very well in that. Our soccer team, kicked off its season. I think within a month, our women's basketball team and men's basketball team are going to be at the pavilion. And our baseball team, they're scrimmaging over at Swayze. And if you haven't heard or seen the Swayze Crazies, then let me tell you, you're missing out. You're going to have to check them out. But one of the other things too, in addition to all that we have going on, is all the things that are happening in the charming town that we're located in. And so we are nestled in the northern part of the state in a fabulous college town called Oxford. I describe it as a sophisticated Southern culinary and artistic delight. It is all of that and some. It's so quaint. It has around 24,000 people. So when you think about like all of our students, like including like the med school students, the graduate school, law school, all of that, we almost pretty much double the size of the town. But I think what draws a lot of students to us, one is its proximity, literally. On a good, beautiful day, if you have the desire, you can walk right from the Grove, from the Circle, right to the square. You can bike it. Of course, you can have a car on campus if you would like and have it for all 4 years and just kind of, drive your zip around, in your car. I mentioned the transit bus system that's also available to you. So there are a number of ways in which you can move and maneuver in and around our campus, but more importantly, move around Oxford. And you may see here in the lower part of the screen, this little double decker. Well, yeah, our name came from Oxford in England. And so we have this gorgeous double decker bus. We do a double decker festival in the spring. It's like none other. Jason Isbell came and performed like a few years ago. That's like how cool it is. If you don't know him, I would suggest following him because he's amazing. We also have the cutest phone booth, a red phone booth, like you would find as if you're in Oxford, England. And then I did mention the literary presence and the footprints that are there in Oxford and on our campus. I mean, one of our most notable alums is William Faulkner. We're the caretaker of his beautiful estate, Roanoke. So when you're visiting our campus, we certainly invite you to swing by, stop by, and spend some time there. And then my most favorite place where I love to spend time is up here in the corner, and that's Square Books, one of the oldest independently owned bookstores on our campus. But a number of James Beard award-winning chefs, restaurants, but then your down home meat and three you can enjoy as well. So I hope that you have enjoyed this particular presentation and just learning more about what Ole Miss has to offer. Of course, this is not me. This is my colleague, Katie. But just know, if you visit our website on Ole Miss admissions.edu, you're going to be able to connect with us. So you're going to find our contact information, who we are, and be able to be in touch with us. And I would be remiss if I did not extend an opportunity for you to come and visit us, and visit as in virtually, because we are continuing to offer virtual campus tours. But if you can carve out some time and to come and see us in a safe, socially distanced type of way, we would love to show you around our gorgeous campus so that you can learn a lot more and meet a lot of other people. That's going to conclude it for me this afternoon. I can't thank you enough for your time, for your attention, and keep Ole Miss on your list. And as we like to say, Hotty Toddy.
Woo, gotta unmute myself there. Okay, well, thank you so much, Lauren and Carmen, for the presentation today. Just wanted to remind you all that there are additional sessions on the website, oacac.org, to sign up for. Also, they are all being recorded, so make sure to take a look there within the next couple of weeks to see all of the presentations that have been posted there. And with that, I would like to say enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you.